Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the Engine Builder Show, where we talk about how to build sustainable engines in your business and personal life so you can achieve freedom of time and freedom of money as an entrepreneur. This show is brought to you by Business Marketing Engine, so if you need traffic, high quality leads, website, and custom fit marketing solution plan to build and grow your business, check out businessmarketingengine.com. And now, let's see what engines we're going to build today. Gabe, good morning.
Thanks, Jethro. Good morning, everyone. I am today is day three of our daily show here that we started, and I'm excited because I'm really enjoying it. And what we're going to talk about today is really how to get the marketing results that you need in your business. And one of the things that we're passionate about here at Business Marketing Engine is really, as Jethro kind of said in the intro there, making sure that you have a sustainable marketing engine that's going to produce for you consistently. And so there's just a handful of things that I'll talk about in our time today that are great reminders and things that I've learned over the years. And the first thing is to actually just be really clear about the result that you want. And I actually talk about this type of labeling and these types of frames in my book that's coming out, Atomic Words. You can pre-order that on Amazon if you want to get a copy. But I talk about how it's really just important to be really clear in your language and how you communicate things. And so I always encourage my clients and our team members here, and I always try to remind myself as well to communicate in a really clear fashion by saying the result that I want is, and then filling in the blank. When we frame things up that way, it allows us to be crystal clear on what we want, and it removes that ambiguity, and it makes it so that you're clear about what you want. So you have to actually know what you want, and it also makes it clear for those that you're working with, the result that you want. And so we think about marketing. There's so many different aspects to marketing. And so sometimes the result that you want is just for your brand to grow so more people know who you are. And that's not always talked about. It's not as talked about as much as probably lead generation and other things, that I see folks talk about. But the reason that something like that is really valuable is if you consistently post on social media, you consistently have your videos view, you consistently email market, then your brand is going to grow. And when it comes time for somebody that's in your audience to work with you, they already will know and trust you. And not all of us, probably very few of us as entrepreneurs, have a product or service that people need to buy from us every single day, like a new purchase every single day. More often, there's a longer sales cycle. I worked with a large home services company here nearby to me, and their sales cycle was that they actually serviced their clients every 2 years because they did maintenance, a specific type of maintenance. And if they only waited for every couple of years to advertise, then they would never grow as a business because they would end up just losing that mind share in that space with their prospects and with their existing clients. But instead, what they chose to do is be consistent in their advertising, with paid traffic, with organic work. They did, direct mail. They did a lot of different things, and so they kept, that space in their prospects and their clients' minds. So when it came time for that purchase to be, necessary, they were the first one that came to mind. And so that's one of the things that I think in the digital age where we can set up a campaign and get traffic right away and we can get clicks, that those are things that are good. But we should, in my opinion, not undervalue, the importance of having that you're just consistent brand going out. So anyway, kind of back to what I was saying with be clear about the result you want. Do you want branding? Do you need lead generation? Do you need copy created? Do you need a destination for somebody to be able to visit so they can sign up and buy your services, whether that's a mobile app or a website, or do you need a brick and mortar location? Whatever it is, being really clear about the result you want will force you to do the work ahead of time that will save you from blowing time and money, when you either have somebody internally on your team doing the marketing or you hire somebody to start working on that. So get crystal clear on the result you want and actually label it that way. Say the result that I want is this. That way there's no lack of clarity. The second thing that's really important, and I already kind of touched on this, is to be consistent. There's nothing that will beat consistency in life and in business, in my opinion, and especially when it comes to marketing. And I know that I know this is common for some of us that really want things to be perfect, or maybe we have a little bit of that perfectionist streak, or we allow this to be an excuse where we want something to be perfect because we're actually afraid of putting it out there and having somebody criticize it or have it not work. Um, there's a lot of reasons why we're not consistent, but the biggest thing is that if we are consistent, then people again will come to know, like, and trust us, and they'll be ready to buy from us when their situation changes. And so consistency does not have to be super expensive. You can spend a few $100 a month on Facebook ads and you can remarket to the people that you want to work with. You can send a weekly email or email a couple times a week, like I typically do, and that way you're branding yourself in the inbox. You can do direct mail, you can do billboards, you can do radio, you can do television, whatever it is. The key is that you're consistent with it, because if you stop it and start it and you're inconsistent in that channel going out, and running, then it's going to be really difficult for people to see you, remember you, and then begin to trust you. And well, obviously all of us want everything to be excellent, and I'm really grateful that I work with a world-class team here that does an excellent job. There are times we make mistakes. We're normal people, and we make mistakes. And I always like to remind people that your audience is not going to remember that you missed a period, or that there was something that wasn't perfect about the image, or that you sent an email out and forgot to put a link in it, because I've done that too. What they're going to remember or not remember is how consistently you showed up. And I've had many clients tell me, I've actually had clients text me when I was like pausing or shifting gears with email, like if I was changing a campaign and I was off for a week, which doesn't happen very often anymore, and text me and say, "Hey, is everything okay? I haven't gotten your emails recently." And as I talk to some of those clients that would reach out that way, they would say, "Oh yeah, I don't read every email you send. I read a lot of them, but I just see you in my inbox and know that you're there." And that's the type of consistency that we want to have in order to build, a successful marketing campaign that will get results. And like I said, you can do that yourself. You can bring somebody in. However you solve the problem, the key is to be really consistent. And in my opinion and experience, in almost all spaces, if you're not showing up in front of your audience at least on a weekly basis, whether that's a weekly email, or posting a few times a week on social, so that at least once a week somebody catches those things, or doing direct mail or whatever it is, if you're not showing up at least once a week, then I think that you're probably going to get lost in the noise, because the amount of ads that we see, the amount of promotion, the amount of new information that we see on a daily basis now as consumers has grown exponentially. I believe it's in the thousands now. There's different stats, but I've seen some stats that say that we see thousands of advertisements a day now. And so in order to be relevant and build that trust, the easiest way to win and beat all the big competitors, all your competitors around you, is just to be consistent. The other thing that I'll share on the marketing front is that there's essentially two paths that I've seen happen over the past 20 plus years as an entrepreneur. These are the only two paths that I've seen people take. Again, there might be other ones, but these are the ones that I see are the kind of normal paths. Is you can either pay an expert to come in and handle your marketing and get the result that you want, since you've clearly labeled that, or you can become an expert by investing in yourself or investing in a team member. There's with the way that marketing channels change and grow, and update, Facebook is never the same. In 90 days, Facebook makes enough changes that sometimes it feels like a brand new platform in some senses. What happens with Google search changes every year, multiple times. What's effective, in all these different channels that we have, changes in a lot of senses. At the tactical level, while the principles are going to stay in place, like being consistent, and another kind of principle that I'll talk about here at the end. But my point is that it's really difficult to become a master of everything. But if you do want to be consistent and effective in your marketing and get the result that you want, in my experience, it's either best to invest in yourself and do a bunch of training. And if that's the part of the business that you want to run, then just continually invest and learn. Or it's good to invest in a team member, or hire an expert, because it's going to take a lot of focus, a lot of practice. Marketing is its own skill set, just like whatever your primary service is. That if you're not a marketing agency, then you probably have another primary service or product that you provide to your clients. And it took you time to figure that out. It took you investing time to learn that skill, or learn how to develop and deliver that product. And the same is true of marketing. It's not not something you can just snap your fingers and do effectively. And it also takes time to partner with a client and invest in learning what their process and really marketing them in a successful way. So it's just a reminder that it's just like anything else. Honestly, I feel like in business, if we want it to be successful, we need to either invest in learning the skill ourselves, which doesn't always move us forward if we're trying to run another part of the business, or we need to invest in someone who is an expert or help them become an expert in the area that we're looking to market. And so that's the other thing to pay attention to, is just realize it's an investment that if you're consistent with, you're going to get great results with. And the last thing that I'll share, and I think this is probably I think these are all really important, but this is a very important one as well, is I always remind my team and my clients that you need to humanize the click. And what I mean by that is, instead of thinking about impressions and clicks and like just looking at straight data, step back and say, who is on the other side? What human is on the other side viewing this content or clicking through? Or how am I building a relationship with that prospect and with that client? Our first guiding principle is relationships first. And so we believe that not only as an organization internally and how we partner with our clients, but we believe that in how we help our clients market to their customers. Because if you really treat it like a relationship, and you think about what would it be like to be in the prospect's shoes, or what would it be like for that person to hear that ad or get that piece of direct mail, or see this in their news feed or open the email, as you really put yourself in their position, then you're going to be able to serve them well. And again, like I said, it's kind of like the reminder I always tell myself: humanize the click. There's a real person looking for information or help or wanting to learn about what you offer in your company. And so those are the things that stand out to me as far as just kind of 4 principles that I would keep in mind as how to get results in your marketing. And as always, if anyone needs help on this front, shoot me a message, drop a comment down below, reach out, and we'd be glad to help you. So I'll turn it back to you, Jethro.
Thank you, Gabe. And thank you to everyone who tuned in today. This is the Engine Builder Show. We're glad you joined us, and we're so happy that you took time to listen and learn how to apply Gabe's thoughts and strategies to work for your success. Again, if you're looking for marketing solutions that will grow your unique business, head over to businessmarketingengine.com, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.